Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience. We ended up having a longer committee meeting ahead of time, a special meeting than normal. And I know presentations were supposed to start around 5:30. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. I think we have a nice crowd here tonight. So if I could, I would like to move things around just a little bit. And we'll move the Cornell Cooperative Extension presentation to the end of the list so that I know some family members have been waiting here for quite some time. So we'll start with our first presentation. Let's everybody look at Shelby to make sure the microphone is working. We are going to do P12424. So this is a resolution commending Gina Mahoney upon being named News Channel 13 and Broadview Federal Credit Union top teacher. Where's Gina? Hi. So we want you to come up, and whoever you have, family, friends, whoever's with you, everybody to come on up front. And this is going to be a presentation by legislators Hoffman, Fiacco, Bailey, Grant, and Kennedy, and anyone else who would like to join us. Gina is very shy and humble, unless she's in the classroom. Yeah. So this is a resolution commending Gina Mahoney upon being named News Channel 13 and Broadview Federal Credit Union's top teacher. Whereas the youth of today are our leaders of tomorrow. They are the very soul of our community, and it is the sense of this legislative body to recognize the efforts of those who are exceptional and will inspire other youth to emulate their achievements, thereby ensuring a brighter future for our county. Teachers play a critical role in educating and shaping our children. We all know that. We entrust our kids to teachers, and they affect their daily lives in so many different ways. No matter where we are in life, a teacher has influenced us and continue to impact our lives every day. Each year, WNYT TV and Broadview Federal Credit Union recognize outstanding teachers in our community. This series was developed to highlight excellence in teaching, encourage creative and quality instruction, and to honor those educators who have improved the lives of their students. And whereas Gina Mahoney attended Catholic Central High School and earned her degree at Russell Sage College. Gina has taught at Gardner Dickinson in the Wine and Skill Union Free School District for 22 years of her 24-year career. She has taught preschool, kindergarten, second grade, and third grade. And whereas Gina believes a welcoming classroom is a key to positive teaching and learning, there is a social and emotional aspect to teaching, and she likes to begin the day with a student check-in meeting where all students are now encouraged to speak and share their ideas. And now, let it be resolved that in accordance with the tradition of this legislative body, we recognize those individuals whose superior achievements and contributions to the vitality of this community and the future of our youth. We hereby congratulate Gina Mahoney on being named News Channel 13 top teacher. And we resolve that the clerk of this legislature is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution suitably engrossed to Gina Mahoney. I happen to know Gina from her days teaching my kids at Gardner Dickinson. It's a small community school, and all the teachers there really make the kids feel like they're home, right? It's their home away from home. Gina kind of goes above and beyond, and obviously her efforts at Gardner Dickinson have been recognized for that. She is outstanding in many ways. She is obviously an advocate for her students at Gardner Dickinson and throughout the Wine-and-Skill Union Free School District. But in addition to that, she's an outstanding person. She has created an amazing family with her kids, and I'm really happy to know Gina. I actually remember babysitting her several years ago, and she was much younger in her days growing up in Troy. So on behalf of all of us, Gina, I want to congratulate you and say thank you for all the work that you do for all of our youth in the county and especially in Wine-and-Skill. And we wish you nothing but the best. Yeah. So you want to come up and say something? What? Yeah, absolutely. You just come up here and say hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. This 15 minutes of fame is really lasting a long time. I appreciate all of you recognizing me. And like Kelly said, all my teachers at GD, we all deserve this award. We work really hard every day. So thank you.
Okay, our next resolution is P 13424. This is a resolution adjourning the March 12th, 2024 legislative meeting in memory of Rensselaer County legislator and mayor of the city of Troy, the Honorable Robert Conway. Are the members of the Conway family here? I'd like to introduce you to please come up front. And this is a resolution that was adopted unanimously and presented by the members of our Troy legislators. And anyone else who'd like to join us up front.
All right, this is a resolution adjourning the March 12th, 2024 legislative meeting in memory of Rensselaer County legislator and mayor of Troy, Robert M. Conway, Jr., the Honorable Bob Conway. Whereas it is customary for this legislative body to pay honor and respect to persons who have had a great impact and influence on the citizens of this county during their time on earth, it is with particularly deep sadness that we concluded the March meeting in the absence of one of our own. And whereas attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing tradition is the intent of this legislative body to express sincerest sorrow upon the death of Robert Conway Jr., who I will continue to call Bob, which occurred on Monday, February 5th of the year 2024. And whereas respected and admired by all, it is the collective sense of this legislature that the life of Bob Conway be memorialized and eulogized. And whereas Bob was born on June 16th, 1945, the son of the late Robert M. Conway Sr. and Eleanor F. Keenan Conway. He attended LaSalle Institute in Albany and graduated from Christian Brothers Academy, CBA, where he later received the Distinguished Alumni Award. In 2022, he was named an honorary Christian brother in recognition of his service to the school. And whereas Robert attended Hudson Valley Community College, where he earned an associate's applied science degree in business, followed by a bachelor's in business and a master's in educational administration at SUNY Albany. And whereas Robert worked at RPI for almost 50 years in several positions, including as registrar and director of advisory learning assistance, in 2014, he was elected to the RPI Athletic Hall of Fame in recognition of his service to student athletes. And whereas Bob served as a trustee at the LaSalle School for Boys, as well as president of the LaSalle School Foundation Board of Directors. During his career, he also served on the Board of Trustees for both Hudson Valley and RPI. And whereas Bob served as a councilman for the city of Troy for many years, served 2 terms as Troy's mayor, and was also a Rensselaer County legislator from 1978 until 1981. And whereas Bob was an avid sports fan, following the New York Yankees and the New York Giants, Notre Dame, and of course RPI, for over 20 years he called the RPI football games over the radio and loved it when the Engineers beat Union College, which we always all love here. And whereas Bob will be greatly missed by his son, who joins us today, Sean Conway, his grandchildren, Casey, who is also here today, Margaret and Patrick Conway, his sister, Judy Kilgallen, who could not be here today, and his longtime companion, Linda Rowland, who is here today as well. Several nieces and nephews, grandnieces and grandnephews, and numerous friends, as well as all of the city of Troy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Rensselaer County Legislature adjourned the March meeting in a moment of silent tribute in memory of Robert M. Conway, Jr., and to reflect upon Bob's tenure of exemplary service, fully confident that his legacy will continue in this county for many, many years to come. And be it further resolved that the clerk of this legislature transmit a copy of this resolution, suitably engrossed, to the family of Robert M. Conway, Jr. So you're probably wondering why I'm giving this presentation. I think our caucus agreed that I actually share many things in common with Bob. He's actually served as a mentor for me in my career in the city of Troy. And there's actually 4 things specifically that we share in common. And the first, of course, is RPI. I attended RPI from 1987 through 91, and then in 94 got my master's. And when I started at RPI, Bob was the registrar for RPI, and I know I met with him on several occasions. We won't talk about the conditions under which I met with him. But Bob was one of the most prominent and contributing employees at RPI that the school has ever seen and probably will ever see. I mean, a career of almost 50 years. I'm 54, so you can imagine, how long it is to be at one place for 50 years. And I did take a note. Bob was the recipient of the first ever Pillars of RPI award, and that award recognizes a long-term staff member who understands the Institute's mission and history, has been a role model for other employees, shows concern for students and their welfare, adds to the human dimension of the school, and who plays an active role in their home community, meaning the city of Troy and the county of Rensselaer. And you can never argue that Bob wasn't involved in our community. He was about as involved as anyone could be. He also received an award called the Thomas Sheehan Award, and that was in 1987, for the 1987 to 88 season, and that was given to recognize any individual outside of Rensselaer athletics who made outstanding contributions to the Department of Athletics at RPI. So again, very involved in athletics, and that actually brings me to the second thing that we have in common, which is ice hockey. Bob loved ice hockey, he was very involved in athletics at RPI, and of course I grew up playing hockey, and I think I've mentioned here before when we had some of the police officers from Troy that I got my career started as an ice hockey official at RPI in the RPI intramural program, and then moved up the ladder. So, people say, well, how is it to be involved in politics? I said, trust me, when you're getting yelled at as a referee, politics is nothing compared to that. So, And his love for sports, and especially ice hockey. I don't think we've talked about this, but there happens to be an ice hockey rink right here that's named after him. It's the Robert M. Conway Ice Rink. And I'm going to, side note, since we're talking about the rink, that is not being used as an ice rink right now. And we desperately need that rink reopened and functioning again. So I'm going to work with the family to see if we can really get that thing up and running again. We want to see the rink in action. I know all of our youth hockey players, adult hockey players, women's hockey players, we all want to see that rink functioning again. So, but it's got his name on it. We want to keep it going. Third thing is public service, which we're all involved in here. I mean, if you look at his record, city councilman, mayor of Troy for 2 terms, and then a county legislator. Now, I did the city council thing for 10 years, and now I'm county legislator. I could tell you that I'm not crazy enough to try and run for mayor. And Nina's not here, so I'm not insulting her by doing that. But his record of service to the city of Troy and Rensselaer County is unmatched. It's absolutely unmatched. And related to that is Bob's belief in the values of the Democratic Party. Our former Democratic Party chairman, Tom Wade, often brought Bob in to speak at our fundraisers, and he was hysterical. So you take an otherwise sometimes unfun line of work here with politics, but Bob knew how to make it fun, and he was a good person. He believed in the values of the party, being compassionate. He believed in government being able to do good for others, and then he exemplified that in the work that he did. So he's definitely a role model for me to follow. Okay, that being said, does anyone else, I think I've been talking for a while, so does anyone else want to make any other legislators want to make some remarks?
Yes, I was a city employee when Bob was mayor. My father was on the legislature with him. I've known Bob forever. I know him to be a man of faith, great faith. And I know that he didn't have we confided in each other many times. He didn't have a great childhood, overcame some difficulties. And throughout his life, until the end, he was long over his difficulties. He was a great guy. He helped other people who were going through the same difficulties for many years. Rensselaer County will miss him. I'll miss him personally, so sorry.
Okay, before I hand it over to the family, I'm just going to say, because Bob's sister, Judy, could not be here, she did have a few remarks, so I just wanted to read her remarks. She said, "What a great brother Bobby was, and how honored he would be to receive the recognition that we're giving him this evening. He loved serving the public as an elected official." She said, "We are all so proud. He is smiling down on us tonight, for sure." With that, would the family like to speak?
Thank you so much for the recognition. I'm Sean Conway. Very grateful to be here. You know, my dad, he was born in Troy, he died in Troy, and he made just a massive impact in between. You know, he would meet people for the first time, and within 10 minutes, they would know more about this city and this county than they would ever think they would or ever really want to. He was just exuded pride all of the time. And as was just said, you know, he overcame a lot, and he was helped by a lot of caring and generous people, and dedicated his life essentially to giving back and helping people, whether through politics, his work at RPI, work with Hudson Valley, the LaSalle School in Albany. That's what his life was dedicated to, was helping people. And I think that's really noble. And it's the anecdotes that I've heard over the past couple weeks of people that, you know, I've heard, you know, the awards and this and that, but it's at an individual level, hearing about how he's touched people it's really nice. And just have to say, 1977 to 1981, or 1970 on the legislature, 78 to 81, I was born in 77, so I was right in my prime of going door to door. I mean, I was the closer. He would prop me up or let me walk, and I would go. I can't tell you how many. And I loved it. It was great. Politics, in particular, for him was really, really important. It was an avenue for him to help. But he was most proud about the situations where he would cross political boundaries and have tough discussions with friends and get to a really good place. And that sticks with me, and it has stuck with me. Just a really, really good person, and he cared so much about the city and the county and the people of this area. So, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.